streaming button, and let's see that shit. There we go. It looks like it would work, which is great. I don't know. Let's see if that frickin' works. Right, and it's just the little stem thing. Yeah, it works. It fucking works. Look at that shit. Boom, boom, boom. So, as I go back to my YouTube page, yep, just finalizing some more things before I freaking. Oh yeah, welcome to the Roundup Hour. I'm just gonna make sure that all you people get my link, which is great. There you go. That's the live thing. Gotta turn off the monetization because I really need the the ad revenue. Hold on real quick. I'm just gonna set this up. Select. Boop. We answer your questions and talk about the news. Wait. There we go. Boom, boom. Okay, so we're gonna look up News Plus. Hope you guys having a good day. I don't know exactly how many people of you signed up. And when I'm just gonna do the create new post thing. Just like, oh fuck, I should probably do it in Edge. Let's create new post. Let's do that. Going. Cool. Let's play some RCT3 in the background while that shit happens. I'm gonna look at some of my Discord today. Just I'm also gonna answer your questions. So if you're tuning into the live stream right now, I'm gonna be answering your questions. So you can drop your Q&A, but I'll be answering your questions in between the fucking news I'm doing, which is great. So let's talk about the news of the past week. So welcome to Icon's Roundup Hour. So basically what this means is we're going to be reviewing the news over the past week. So instead of like doing one show for basically for every single news item, we're just going to do one big news show. And if you have like a Q&A or you want to hear what my thoughts are on various Apple news happening across the Apple escape, and maybe also some tech news on the side, then this show is for you. You can also drop your questions for me if you want me to answer questions in the live chat. I'll be answering those, if there's any, between news stories. But like, yeah. So if you missed the live show, if you're watching like the VOD of this, just make sure to get to my Discord. I'll probably have a link in the description below, but I'll pin it on the VOD if you have not yet joined my Discord. So you can get all the updates. You can get all the updates, get everything new, so you can follow along, which is great. So yeah, let's get right to the news story. So basically, I'm just going to be playing some Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 in the background. This is a new install, by the way. I didn't even notice that Steam Cloud doesn't even freaking work on this machine. So, on this title, rather. So, I'm just going to cover the past week's news. If you want me to cover like a specific news story that I might have missed, just make sure to let me know in the chat. I'm actually monitoring the chat on my iPhone, which is actually pretty fun. But let's get started with our first news story, which is Epic and Apple's lawsuit. Basically, they now wanted to know, apparently, about Scott Forstall's phone number. This is real. So, the Epic side of things, they requested Scott Forstall's phone number to use as a contact. I'm not exactly sure like what's the legal precedent for like asking for someone's phone number just to contact them. But eagle-eye viewers might know that Scott Forstall hasn't worked at Apple for 8.5 years now. So I'm not sure exactly why they would think that Scott Forstall is still somehow related, as their relationship is very different back in 2012 compared to like now. So it's not really useful, and I don't think Apple has their phone number. In fact, Apple does not have their phone number. So that was a whole lot of nothing. It was a very weird case, but it was this antitrust thing, which Tim Sweeney is a very, very sad man. I would just say this right now. Like, he planned this apparently for like over a year. And it was not the greatest plan, because apparently it's still lacking in the consideration, because apparently this lawsuit is going nowhere. And apparently they're still trying to do this. Their publicity campaigns have not really worked so far. And it's all very, very sad. I feel bad for, Epic's legal team that actually has to do this while I complete the deforestation. But it's going nowhere, and this is only the latest chapter. But switching up to something a little bit more fun, it sounds like we might actually be getting the iPad Mini 6 after all. Which is weird, because it is the iPad Pro form factor. But miniaturized into the iPad Mini. Apparently, they barely started the development on the iPad Mini Pro, as some of you are calling it in the news. And it probably will not launch until the end of the year, if it launches this year at all. Which is weird, because you would think that they would have started on this, especially they have, been doing the iPad Pro for like 3 years. But iPad Mini 6 will apparently become the iPad Mini Pro. The news stated that it would be around an 8-inch form factor. And it's just the same. And I'm not sure, but it looks like it would be compatible with an Apple Pencil too, or at least some variant of the pencil that sticks to the side, because now it's doing the flat edge. And apparently it's got to use Touch ID on the top right corner. If you have not seen the photos, apparently it's going to have 4 speakers with Touch ID. It doesn't look like there's going to be Face ID sensors on this thing. So my guess is that it's going to be like an iPad Air option. It's going to be some sort of iPad Air kind of mid-tier option. It's going to start around $500. So I don't think it will probably launch at the end of this year. Let's see if they can launch in time for October. But I'm not optimistic about it. I'm not optimistic about I don't trust them because especially with all the freaking delays, I don't think they'll actually make it happen. I think they'll just probably, let's say, June. Let's see if there's enough people wanting an iPad Mini Pro, but the COVID, the economy, it's pretty bad, and I'm sure they'll make it somewhere in time, but iPad Mini Pro wise, I'm cautiously optimistic. I don't think that the iPad Mini is ever something they ever focused on. I only think that they probably just made it back in 2012 just to confront the Nexus 7, and once that was done, they forgot about it. which is not exactly the highest show of confidence here. But, I mean, the iPad mini is a great device, only if they would stop neglecting it. That would actually be fun. Speaking of iPad news, do you people remember the Apple Pencil? A lot of you didn't buy an iPad mini. But back then it was very popular, but they kind of neglected it for a couple of years. Right now, yeah, the Apple Pencil is coming back. Gen 3, not like they ever threw it away. But the Apple Pencil apparently now has this redesigned glossy finish. So, and then there's like a longer tip. I don't exactly know what's changed, but it's really that one photo that floated on Twitter. But yeah, it says a new glossy, kind of like a tubular finish, which is reminiscent of the Apple Pencil 2, but if you remember, that's matte. And now it's kind of like a tubular device. So, yeah, it's a big-ass tube. And I can't see from the photo whether it still has the flat edge. I don't think it will make sense if they ditch the flat edge. Seemingly, that's like the world famous feature right now for the Apple Pencil. Which, I'm on the side of like they should totally just keep this. But yeah, I think it would just be like a slightly upgraded Pencil 2. I don't think it's gonna be any different, but. I'll be surprised if there isn't at least like one extra feature. It'll probably launch with the iPad Pro in March, which right now, guess what? Newsflash, we're in March right now. So, yeah, I'll probably launch there. Also, some M1X rumors. So, as I've told a lot of you people on Twitter, if you've not followed me on Twitter, you should follow me right about now. Yeah, I talked about on Twitter how it would be the M1X. It just simply would not make sense if it's named the M2, because it's still technically the same cycle, and then the devices afterwards will be called the M2. What I'm trying to get at is, you might have heard that they have new benchmarks, and it's actually 30 to 40% better. Yeah, it's just as what I would expect. So this is probably the chipset they would put into the 16-inch MacBook Pro. I don't think, and the 14-inch MacBook Pro, I honestly don't think they'll put it in the iMac. I think that they're kind of preoccupied with the rumored redesign of the iMac, which they would launch with the Apple Silicon model. I simply don't think that they would just like launch a new iMac until the Apple Silicon era. I think that the final Intel iMac is probably the last one. So, yeah, I mean, it is what I expect. There is one thing I do want to talk about, the new 16-inch MacBook Pro. It's great that they do the M1X thing. It's great that they have the new design, right? Rumor has it that they're going to bring back HDMI and SD card support. But I have a small-ass request for you people out there. For you people working at Apple. Please don't ditch the bigger 100 watt-hour battery. Okay? That's just my request. I would like to, for it to go balls to the wall. I just want the biggest battery, because you would know that Apple would try to pull shit like this, where they would just hey, we can get approximately the same amount of battery life, so we're just gonna fucking yeet the battery. I hope they don't. I genuinely hope they don't. They'll just keep the 100 watt hour battery, and then they could probably have 50 hours of battery life. That would be the best. But hopefully they just kind of just keep the 100 watt hour battery, keep the add back the SD card slot, add back. I don't think they'll do HDMI, but rumor has it they'll do HDMI. So yeah, just do all of that. Just keep everything, and even if you destroy the touch bar as rumored, just try and keep the other features in. I know a lot of people hate the touch bar. I don't hate the touch bar. I quite like the touch bar. It's very versatile, but it just freezes a little bit too much. And so what I want is just to have them, just keep the touch bar. Well, I want them to keep the touch bar, but I won't cry over it. But I do want them to just at least keep the 100 watt hour. If they keep the 100 watt hour, I would buy this so quickly. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'm waiting, as you all guys would know, I'm waiting for the big ass 16-inch MacBook Pro. I cannot use the 14-inch model. So yeah, just waiting for the 16-inch model. Just wait if they screw up on the port front, screw up on the touch bar front. But if all goes well, and I have money in my pocket, not something major happening to my finances, I'll probably, more often than not, I'll probably cop a 16-inch MacBook Pro. That's basically my plan. So I'll keep you guys posted when I do get an M1X Mac on my hands, which it doesn't make sense. I don't call that a 13 iPad. I guess that is a useful shorthand, but it's an Apple Silicon Mac, so you people know what I'm referring to. Okay, some questions. Will the Apple Car have the charging port on the bottom? Hello, Team Apple. Do you want a fun answer or do you want a serious answer? Let me give you both. The fun answer, knowing that their design prowess, they'll probably do it. Alright? That's just my very controversial opinion. But yeah, I kind of think that they would actually do this. Which is to just basically put the charging port on the bottom, just to screw with people, alright? Oh yeah, you should totally pull into one of these Apple garages, because they're kind of meticulous. I think if they're thin enough, they're kind of like Magic Mouse, they might put it there as a joke. But realistically, I'm gonna give you the serious answer to this. They would just put it on the side, kind of like a diesel gas pump fuel thing, like the current what the current Tesla is already doing. I guess that would be the option that makes the most sense. Yeah, so I would think okay, they would just put it there, and then they would try to get a battery solution. You know what's the wild card? They use lightning for that. They're not even gonna use an actual charging solution for a car. They're just gonna screw it. We're just gonna use a cable, and they'll probably take 500 million hours to charge. That would be the GOAT. That would be the freaking GOAT option. I would love to see that, actually. Unironically, I would want to see that. just freaking a lightning cable, and then you have to buy the 20 watt air power charging brick separately. That would be the freaking GOAT. I'm just saying. Knowing Apple, they would probably do things like this, because they're very, very weird, and I don't understand their ethos at times. I gotta turn this around. There we go. Boom. Yeah, but yeah, Apple Car, they'll probably come up with a cable solution. I don't see them selling you extra batteries. They'll probably do an Apple Care sort of thing. It's actually pretty fun to speculate about Apple Car, but we won't see it for the next couple of years. It's not like we will see it. Also, have you people seen the new charge port design? I'm one of those people that never believed in the MagSafe rumors, simply because it's just too awkward to hold in the hand. Hello, new viewers. As you're coming in, it usually takes a while for YouTube to kind of send out that notice to people. But if you're just tuning in, welcome to Roundup Hour, where we round up the news of the past week. And also, if you want, you can hop in the live chat and ask me a couple of questions if you like. So that's fun. But yeah, I never believed in the MagSafe iPhone thing. I think that it's just a little too clunky. If you've ever used MagSafe on an iPhone, I don't mean like one of those bricks that they hot glued onto the table. I mean like just physically held up a phone with like a MagSafe puck attached to the back of it. It is very uncomfortable to use. It is not. It's just like it's not very. It kind of like sticks out to the palm of your hand. It's not the greatest thing in the history of humanity to have that. So what I'm saying is that they will probably come up with an alternate charging solution, but I think that MagSafe would solidly be number 2. I don't think it will ever be like an option where people's just gonna have to use no matter what. I just never bought into that. But yeah, it was a nice feature for those of you that has never used MagSafe and you want to hear my thoughts on it. MagSafe is fine. MagSafe is just fine. It's not some groundbreaking feature. I haven't bought the brick for it, even though I mentioned on Twitter that I've not used MagSafe that much. But the times I've used, they're alright. Alright? I'll just say that. They're fine. Once again, they're not groundbreaking. Once again, they're not, anywhere like close to being, the greatest thing that's ever invented by humanity. I don't think that. But yeah, it's fine. It's not groundbreaking. It works. It works better because now the puck is attached all the way to the back, so it doesn't slide around. You can hold it up, which is a good thing. But again, it's just not great. It's not one of those things where like exactly it's a killer feature. It's an awesome thing to have, especially if you like. Oh shit! I need to switch up the tiles. There we go. First of all, I need to remove them. There we go. All right, cool. Yeah, but it's not a groundbreaking feature by any means. It's a nice feature to have. It's pretty nice when you have cable, and then someone else has a MagSafe. I've known family members that has an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and and they have a MagSafe puck. So people are buying this, even though they're not the most tech savvy people. So my take is, I don't think they'll ever replace a physical charging solution, because as you know that they have DFU mode, they have recovery to take care of, and personally I just think that it is not quite the solution, because it still requires something physical. You cannot get away with like everything being just, this is gonna work via magnets, because it's gonna fail. There's gonna be some sort of hardware that supports it. So I never thought that MagSafe would be like an actual solution, but apparently people keep pimping it, which I can understand, but it's just not a solution. I don't know if you've noticed. It doesn't feel like a solution to whatever Apple thinks that a wireless feature is. They'll allow you to use wireless, but judging by how there's still a charging port, it is really not quite that feasible for hardware, physical piece of hardware, to just straight up abandon any sort of physical charging solution. So I don't think it's ever in the cards. I don't know why people keep pimping that as a solution. But yeah, it's just bad. Yeah. So if you have questions, feel free to ask. This is just a reminder for those of you just joining us. But yeah, I don't know about those rumors, but hopefully they'll fix a MagSafe, which apparently they're aiming to do, which I'm happy to hear. But again, it's one of those things where it's like, it's better to just, just use as a secondary and never just rely on it as a primary charging solution. I think it's suicidal if you want to use it as a primary charging solution because of how it's just constrained. Like, it's just not a solution that's built for recovery purposes. But yeah. Have you seen the new iPod Touch? iPod Touch prototypes on Twitter. If you follow Dongle Book Pro, he uploads all these photos of old devices. It's just the greatest thing in human history. Those there's apparently some sort of like a flash module, the bottom of the antenna window on the left, on the right rather. But it's just not. It's weird, but it's still the same 5th generation design. I honestly don't think. Well, there's a 7th gen right now that's running an A10, but it's gonna be like some sort of like lagging behind where it's gonna be some sort of enterprise device. But yeah, I thought this would be interesting. So I guess that's about all the news for this week. There isn't anything that's like bombshell, crazy balls to the wall news in the Apple space. I'm just going to wrap this up if it's fine with y'all. Because really I've run out of news and I think I've answered all the questions. So yeah, thank you for attending the first ever Icon Redesign Roundup Hour. Hopefully I'm going to be doing this every week, hopefully every Friday, if this is feasible, or every Thursday, wherever you're living, but it's a Friday where I'm living. So hopefully I've got to do this every single week. Again, if you've missed out on the live, which I'm about to end right now, but you can ask questions and I'm going to answer it. So it's only for people that watch it live. So if you don't watch this live, you don't get to ask me any questions via the live chat. It pays to be here. So turn on my notifications on the channel. Make sure you have all of them turned on, so you get live notifications. YouTube is weird, so just make sure, even if you have the bell turned on, just double check if you have. But yeah, I'm just gonna end it real quick here. Thank you for showing up to Icon's Roundup Hour. Hopefully people get settled in to the new format, and we can hopefully have more people around, because it's genuinely fun, and I haven't uploaded in a while. So yeah, these numbers are pretty fun with me for now, but hopefully if we can start doing it every week, I can bring this to a few more people. So yeah, thank you all for coming out today. I'm just going to end my broadcast here. Thank you so much for showing up once again for Icon's Roundup Hour. I'm going to meet you back here next week for another episode of Roundup Hour, and also some other trinkly bit videos from every now and then. But, until the next video or until the next stream.